Welcome, Byte Club, to another edition of the Fan Friday Show, and this week's question comes to us from Andrew Alexander, who writes, I would like to say congrats on making 200 and more episodes of your podcast. Sasha Banks is a four-time Raw Women's Champion. Alexa Bliss is out to get the title back. Both women have personal issues with each other, but definitely work well together. I have a feeling that Bliss and Banks could trade championship wins on TV or pay-per-view. Do you guys think that the Banks-Bliss rivalry can outshine Banks-Charlotte from last year? He also has another question, which is, what's your favorite place to go to over the Labor Day weekend? And he wants to get himself a PlayStation 4, Ryan. He's saving up, so let's wish him the best of luck. But going back to the question at hand, do you think that Alexa Bliss and Sasha Banks has a chance to outshine Charlotte and Sasha Banks, considering everything that they went to, from Hell in a Cell matches to everything else they did?
I certainly think that they can, because the Sasha Banks Charlotte feud, as great as it was at times, it really wasn't all too great in the way that they booked it, with just the title changes being so predictable. I think that really watered down that feud. Whereas the thing that's going for Sasha versus Alexa is there is that real life tension between them that kind of helps you buy into their feud a little bit more than the Charlotte Sasha Banks feud. So I definitely think this could end up being a lot better, and they may not even need to do all the bells and whistles that they did for Charlotte and Sasha Banks, where it went to, they had an Iron Woman match and a Hell in a Cell. I feel like you could get an even better feud and not even need those stipulations. Although I would like to see some gimmick match at some point. It doesn't have to be to the extent of a Hell in a Cell.
One of the things that I like about it is that Alexa Bliss wasn't part of the Four Horsewomen, right? So she wasn't packed with this whole bunch of, hey, look at all these great matches that they had back down in NXT, and now the women are up on the main roster. Alexa Bliss was kind of like the fifth wheel in a way, where people saw potential in her, but let's be perfectly honest, a lot of people thought that maybe that wouldn't work out, that maybe she was all character and no play, but then you saw that that character really transitioned well into the main roster, to the point where she was way better on the main roster compared to like Sasha Banks, Charlotte. We've been saying it time and time again. We think that Sasha, especially out of the whole woman that got called up, has become the softest character. And not just because she's a babyface. I think that overall her character became just a brand. She is, it's boss time, as Michael Cole loves to say. But what is that really? Whereas Alexa Bliss isn't afraid to be hated. She is almost like the Kevin Owens equivalent to the women's division, because her character is about poking fun at people, bullying them a little bit. Now, got to be perfectly honest, there's been duds out there, because you talk about This Is Your Life, and she tried. She really tried to make that work. So if anything, more so than a negative, it's a positive to look at the This Is Your Life segment with Bayley, because it shows, hey, even when she's giving crap to deal with, she tries to make the most out of it.
Yeah, I mean, in Sasha Banks on a match level has certainly been great, and she's had a lot of great chemistry with a lot of different opponents. And Alexa Bliss, from a character standpoint, she has been the best character in the women's division in the last year or so. You know, Charlotte kind of had her stride at one point, but her promos have always been kind of grating, whereas Alexa Bliss, definitely, I would put her above Charlotte on the promo side. The one thing Charlotte probably had going for her is she has the look and just that confidence that I feel like nobody else has. But, you know, that aside, I think Alexa Bliss has a lot going for her. She may not be also at the same, you know, in-ring level as Charlotte, but certainly the character level is what's important in telling a good story and making a feud feel believable. So I think on a believability standpoint is where this Sasha and Alexa Bliss feud can really take off.
Now, he did bring up a bonus question, which is, what is your favorite place to go to over the Labor Day weekend? So that's a Monday. Like, the Monday is technically the holiday in that part, right?
Yeah, so on Labor Day weekend, it really varies. Sometimes I won't go anywhere, just enjoy the long weekend. This Labor Day, I'm actually going to be going to Vermont. So gonna be doing some hiking and just
Nice.
go into some restaurants and stuff. Actually go outside for once. So that's what I'm doing this
And not
Labor
do
Day.
Pokemon Go stuff or
Well,
are
I
you?
mean, you gotta see what's out there.
Yeah, for me, in Puerto Rico, I don't really like go to beaches and all that because I know the whole stereotype of hey, you're in the Caribbean, so do Caribbean things. And for me, I just like to go out and eat. The week afterwards, I'm flying out, so like that Monday is actually pretty good for me because I get to just enjoy Raw. I get to hang out with I was gonna say you guys, but Keith is absent right now, so I get to do a little bit of that.
Raw.
Yeah, I get to enjoy Raw, but I get to do entertaining things before that. But because I have travel, I'm going to be going to D.C. and Maryland for some work-related things. I'm just looking forward to that. So Labor Day itself, I'm not really like a big fan of doing too much things because I'm a pretty passive person. Like this box that I'm encapsulated in for the YouTube channel, I like it. So probably just going to do some things related to that. So thank you so much, man. Hope you get yourself your PlayStation 4. Save up, get that money, get that PlayStation 4. Maybe you can play with us. Actually, do stream every Monday, cheap plug, over at Press Pause TV at around 6 p.m. Eastern Time. So if you got yourself a PS4, there's something that maybe you want to watch me play, you can definitely do that. If you want to support this channel right here, it's super simple. Ryan, we just got to go to Patron. If people go to Patron, Ryan, they get to see you days before they get to see you.
They
it actually makes sense.
Early.
They get to see this early. They get to
get Friday just a little bit earlier in the week.
Yeah, Friday. Whoa. Think about this. By supporting us on Patreon, Friday happens on a Wednesday. Yes, Thursday still technically comes afterwards, so if anything, that's like a huge disappointment.
We are not liable if you get fired for not going into work on Thursday.
And you can check out our podcast every single Wednesday. If you have a question for Fan Friday, drop it down below. You can also drop suggestions for the podcast. So until next time, thank you for watching and listening, and we'll be back with a lot more right here on Byte That.